Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starting Small Music. I'm Justin McCormick, and you're about to hear a conversation with an artist, musician, and music industry professional on their journey and how they got to where they are today. At Starting Small, we like to take you on a journey uncovering the untold stories of your favorite songs and artists. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Just keep a smile on your face and it'll be okay. Try not to be bitter, you gotta do it either way. Keep a smile on your face and it'll be okay. So when life throws a jab, you gotta duck out of the way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Starting Small Music Podcast. Today we have Darion Hodge, band leader and bassist for Chapel Hart. How you doing today, Darion?
I'm doing good, bro. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good. So getting around your story, you grew up in Louisiana. What was your childhood like?
I come from a family of music. All of my family's musician. Like my grandma still plays piano in church right now. You know, she's in her 70s, late 70s. Like she's still in the piano in church playing. So that's really where I got my start. Watching my uncles play since I was, like 5 years old, just wanting to really play music, you know what I'm saying? And I've been playing professionally since I was 13 years old, bro. So I've been doing music professionally full time since I was about 13 years old. So that's where it all started, man. All in the church for sure. You know, then I got into some touring stuff late in high school and, you know, kind of playing with a few different people. But yeah, it started with family, bro. Started right at home. So that's really where it got started.
Around the house growing up, what kind of music was getting played that kind of was your first introduction into music that kind of made you feel a connection to it?
Gospel all day was just, we were listening to gospel all day, different gospel artists, just all gospel all day. Maybe some blues stuff. Listen to some blues stuff every now and then, but it was all gospel, man. My whole childhood was gospel.
So was it your grandma that made you want to like start playing an instrument? Did she start kind of teaching you piano? What was the first instrument you ended up picking up?
I ended up picking up drums first. So
Yeah.
drums with pots and pans, you know, boys always pots and pans, hitting on the pans and shit. Pots and pans, and then I started playing with piano a little bit, fiddling around. I thought it was kind of hard, but it kind of came a little natural, you know. So it was just like hearing certain things, and then I grabbed the bass. So right after that, so my uncles actually started me playing drums, and then it just went from there.
So how old were you when you ended up picking up the bass then?
Man, about 14 years old, 14, 15,
14.
15 years old. Yep.
So
So it started.
do you think that you kind of had like already like a good pocket since like you'd already played drums before picking up the bass? Like how did that help you?
Yeah, whenever you play drums, you can pretty much play anything. I feel that's my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? If you know how to play drums and you know how to keep the beat, keep everything solid, then that's really where, you know what I'm saying? That's where the foundation is. And then that bass just follows right along in that pocket with it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can,
Sure.
if I got a good drummer, I'm set. You know what I'm saying? I'm set on
Right.
this.
Totally. Now you said you got your first professional gig at 13. Kind of tell the story behind that.
Man, so it was actually church. So I was sitting in a studio session with my uncles, and this guy comes in and he's like, "Man, I need a drummer for this church thing tonight." And my uncles were all like, "Well, Darren can do it." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "All right, cool." You know, didn't know no music, didn't know anything or whatever. And went to the church and just and played, and I got the job after that. And they like start paying me like $120 every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like little
Yeah,
stuff. But at 13, I'm able to buy shoes. I'm able to buy, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to kind
exactly.
of do
That's
my
balling
little
at
thing.
13.
Right, right. So and that's where it got started, man. I did that. I did that for about 3 years, bro. And then I got into talented music in high school. And once I got into high school, I started learning a little theory
Mhm.
and you know, some other stuff like that. And I just took off from there, just wanted to continue to progress from there, you know.
Yeah. Did you start forming bands in high school kind of with your friends at that point or?
I did, man. I did, bro. I did. We started doing like little jam band stuff. So we would perform at school, which
Yeah.
was great, which was fun, you know, grab some guys from the band. And we would just do like some jam band stuff, bro. Like just playing, come up with our own stuff, come up with our own music, and it was super fun back then. It wasn't work. Now it's work.
Yeah.
Back then it wasn't work. It was all fun. We didn't care about money. We didn't care about time. It was just like, let's just do it and let's, have fun while we're doing it. So yeah, in high school for sure.
Do you
For
think it
sure.
helped you like form the bands with your friends, like coming off of playing with like some older guys that have been playing for years in church? Like you kind of came in with a strong foundation because of that?
Yeah, for sure. Simply because I never really knew how to be a leader at a young age, but I wanted to be a leader.
Hmm.
So like watching older guys be leaders showed me like, okay, this is what you have to do. This is how you do it. This is how you speak to people. It's like little stuff like that, so making sure like I don't want to come off disrespectful, but I want to be firm on what I'm saying to you so that you can understand my passion for what we're doing right now.
Right.
And that's what I feel. That's what I feel like leaders do whenever a good leader whenever he can tell you what he wants without being disrespectful or without what I'm saying, making you belittling you or making you feel less than or like
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Now, senior year of high school, what are you thinking that you want to do after? Are you wanting to go to college? Are you wanting to launch off into music? What's your thought process like?
Man, I wanted to launch off into music. My biggest thing I wanted to do was go to Berklee College of Music. I wanted to go to Berklee. It's every young musician's dream. Everybody wants to go to Berklee. Everybody. So, what I did was I just started watching videos, and I was like, man, what can I do? What can I do after school? So I ended up going to Dillard University after I graduated from high school, and I had a concentration in music industry.
Hmm.
And then it was like, do I continue to go into this or do I like jump off in the field? And before I made that decision, I got called for a European tour with this group, Joyful in the Spirit of New Orleans, which was like a folk band kind of group, kind of like some inspirational music type deal. And I
Yeah.
got called to go out to do that for 3 months. And that was it from there. I took that and I just was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I never got to finish in the music industry program, but I've been doing this touring since then. So that was 2017. It was late 2017, and then I've been going full time ever since then.
So, what was that first experience on the road like? I mean, one of your first big tours, and it's in Europe. Like, kind of take us through that process.
Man, I got called for the tour and was from one of my professors from school and was like, look, you can do this. We sending you off, And I went over there and I was with a bunch of old guys again. So it felt like older men. It was like they were in like the 60s, you know what I'm saying? Like 60, 70. So and they do this tour every year. They were doing this tour all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of brought me back to my early childhood, like I was saying earlier, when I was with the older guys whenever I was younger. So that and I was the youngest. I had to be like 21 on this tour. And everybody else was way, way, way older than me. So it was like it wasn't the partying, it wasn't the girls, it wasn't the group, it was none of that. It was go do the show, go to your hotel room. You know what I'm saying? And we did Spain, we did Italy, we did Germany, the Canary Islands. What else do we do? Did we do London? We did London. Like we were just like going. It's like a bunch of private planes, a bunch of small jets. And it was amazing for me, selling out venues, selling out historic theaters, and we were playing like little stuff like When the Saints Go Marching In, just stuff they wanted, stuff they want to hear cultural wise overseas that they don't get there,
Right.
so we were doing a lot of that music, and it was a crazy experience, man. And I was homesick. I was so homesick. I was homesick so bad, bro. And I'm there with all these older guys, and they ain't making it no better because they like, what, you want to go home? You want to go home? You ready to go home? You go. So yeah, that was a crazy experience. But that was my first experience overseas, and it was just like I wouldn't trade it for nothing because it taught me a lot about the industry for sure.
For sure. Now, you're currently the bassist and musical director for Chapel Hart. Kind of tell the story of how you ended up meeting up with them.
Man, so I started. So I was always doing stuff around the city. So when you're in your city, you work and you're seeing different people. So I had already knew of the girls, and me and Devin, who is one of the singers in the group, me and her were already friends. This via social media, mutual friends kind of thing. And so my homie Ezel Smith was the drummer at the time, and I just hit him up and I asked him, like, man, do y'all have like a unit? Because I always would see them switching bands. I'm like, do y'all have a unit? Like, do y'all have like a solid unit?
Mhm.
And just fishing. It wasn't nothing, just nothing serious. So he was like, yeah. He was like, actually, no, we don't right now. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, throw my name in the hat. Let them know I'm available to do some stuff. I had just moved to Houston, so I was just kind of looking for just little stuff to do, or whatever. So they end up hitting me the same day, hit me up the same day, and was like, you down to work? Well, let's work. And my first gig with them was South by Southwest in Austin. We did South by
Dang.
Southwest in Austin, and history ever since. I've been with them for a year and a half now. A year and a half. So it's like it's very fresh. I got the musical director job in December, right before the tour. Right before
Wow.
the tour started. Yeah. So they were like, look, we love how you orchestrate things. We love how you arrange the music. Like, let's bring you on as the musical director. Like, cause I was just a bass player. Then I started playing keys with them as musical director. So I started playing piano with them at music director. So and being on start since then, being on this tour and everything, it's been nothing but sweetness, bro. Nothing but sweetness, bro. It's crazy. It's
Now,
crazy.
how does that change your day to day, going from just being the bassist to the musical director? Is there any like added things you have to do like before the show?
Always. So that comes down to set list, um, organizing the stage plots, inputs, making sure our writer is correct, just advancing the show in its entirety. Like that's just what I do on a daily basis. Like when we get off of this, like I have to dive into building the show for Canada this weekend that we like I said, we're doing with Tanya Tucker.
Yeah,
So that's gonna be huge. We did some stuff with John Party, Lainey Wilson. We did a show with Chris Jansen, which was
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah, what she got? I mean, you name it, we've been on the stage with him. It's pretty. Nico Moon is
Such
another
a
one.
high energy show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, I love Nico's show, bro. We opened up for him a few months ago, and that was actually crazy. So man, we've been on with him probably twice now. So it's been super cool meeting all of these people and just seeing the different artists and seeing how down to earth they are, man. Because I don't have a country background at all, so I had
Yeah,
to go study. I had to go study like hard. We did the Ryman with Marty Stuart, which was amazing.
that's
Marty.
legendary.
Oh man, yeah, man, Marty was the coolest guy ever. Like we did a rehearsal with Marty and he was all jokes, but when we got to work, the whole band was just it was amazing, man. And I played organ on that and we had our guitar players in on that too. So that was pretty cool.
What's it like getting to back such a like great guitarist like Marty? Like, do you just let him go like when you're
Oh
kind of
man, you
playing in the
just let
band,
it.
or
Surprisingly, he was like, "This y'all show. Like, I'm gonna be playing with y'all." We were like, "No, Marty, no. You solo. You take this solo here. You do this here." Like, it was crazy, and just getting to see him in his element. You know what I'm saying? Like selling out the Ryman. Of course, and it's just like being in that room was just so inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing
for
all of
sure?
these different artists and it was amazing and of course all of the musicians that he had with him, just like perfection. This is like history and living history, so it was crazy. It was crazy.
Now you kind of touched on it. Did you probably didn't expect to be playing country like when you were younger, kind of first getting introduced to music, kind of what was that like to kind of have to learn the genre? Had you already listened to it before you kind of started getting country gigs?
No, I actually had to. It was actually a culture shock, man. It was like, okay, I'm playing music. This is what I'm used to playing. So when I would listen to the music initially, I would be like, oh, well, let me put my swing on such and such, or let me do this for this, or and it was just like, no, that's not the originality of what country is. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to take a step back and actually study, bro. And I did some digging, like I love like Luke Combs. I love, like I said, John Party, Chris, of course. man, the list just goes on and on. Jimmy Allen is another favorite. Darius Rucker, those are like, I love those guys. So I had to actually go sit back and just listen to true country and just see like kind of what it was and what how musicians move through it, you know, and how the simplicity and the just stuff like that. So it was like when I took that time, I learned to appreciate it a little more because
Totally.
it wasn't all of what I thought or what I, you know, what I come from, which is more of like movements and I'm moving a lot and I got a lot of this and I got a lot of that going on, you know, and it was kind of like, no, just take a step back and understand the joy of what it brings. And I kind of start listening to the stories that it just that they create. And like now it's one of my favorite genres. You know what I'm
Heck yeah.
saying? So, yeah.
Now, do you want to be like on the road and tour for as long as you can, or is there any part of you that wants to do like session work in like LA or Nashville?
Yeah, I'm moving more towards the Nashville area. Wanna get to Nashville for sure. But as far as touring, I want to tour as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can work, as long as I can do it, you know, I say I want to tour because it's the beauty of the road is like so important. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to see different things, getting to be around different people. I have some crazy experiences. Like when I first met John Party, was the Illinois State Fair,
Mhm.
and we were getting ready to leave. We did a three-piece. It was just drums, bass, guitar, and tracks. And we did that and all of a sudden I turn around and John Party's whole band is behind us, like listening to us, like just like in awe, like man, like this is crazy, it's crazy. So Kevin Murphy, who's the drummer for Party, he like was like, look, man, y'all stay inside stage. He gave us like ear packs for their show and was like, let's listen to everything. So we were hearing all of their cues, all of their tags, like all the talk back. It was crazy. So we got ready to leave. Like, all right, guys, see y'all later. I get a text on my phone from Lee, who is the music director for Party, and he was like, "Hey, we're hanging backstage. If y'all want to come backstage." Turn the car around, go back. We instantly went back, and we're sitting back there with John Party and with all his musicians, and just kind and Laney's musicians as well, who are my friends too. And and they were just like just giving the game, man, and just talking and just telling us like, man, look, this is like y'all got it. Like we plan to see y'all on down the road, and it was amazing. Like I really, really, really enjoyed that part of it. So once that started, now when I talk to them, when I talk to those guys, and when I hang with those guys, or I actually run into them in rehearsal spaces in Nashville whenever we, you know, when we get ready to go on tour. So that's like that's pretty amazing for me. So I love that. I
For
love that.
sure. Now, I like to close my interviews by asking, what's a piece of advice you've learned along your journey that you give the younger musicians out there?
Um, hmm. What would I give my younger self? Stay focused. If this is what you want to do, stay focused no matter what. It the journey isn't easy and you can't skip any steps. That's the biggest part of it. You can't skip any steps. You have to do everything that it takes to get to the point where you want to be. If you skip the steps, I don't care. However you think you gotta make it, you gotta listen to other people. No matter what you feel like, you gotta take advice. You have to listen to other people because sometimes you just don't know. I tell people all the time, you know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. How are you gonna tell somebody what you know if you don't know? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't know. So you have to take the time, study, be focused, and just strive for greatness no matter what, man. It's a lot of good players out there. It's a lot of amazing players out there, bro. Like so many great players, but everybody's not gonna be you. You have to
Right.
be yourself. You have to be yourself because that's what artists love. They love originality. They love somebody whose personality wins majority of the time, bro. Personality wins. If you can smile and you can be a great hang and you can play, you won't lose your job. You know what I'm saying? So
For sure.
stay focused and stay disciplined, man, for sure.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment, and check out my music on all streaming platforms at Justin McCormick. See you guys next time.